Okay, wanted to show you our cap situation heading into this offseason. Obviously, we have the draft, and then we'll be looking for free agents. And so, want to give you some perspective on where we're at with our cap space. Because if you remember when Brad Holmes took over, it was a mess. A lot of dead cap, a lot of bad contracts. We had to really, he just had to right the ship in order to get us into this position. So all along, the plan was to get us here. So if you look, we're about 15 million in cap space, and that's before any moves. So what I mean by that is we're probably going to get rid of Vitae. That's going to free up 10 million. Or excuse me, that's probably 5 million, and then Brockers is another one that's another 5 million. So immediately we'll be at 25 million in cap space this year. And then, we can adjust Goff's contract. There's a lot of different things you can do, but my overriding point is that we're not down here. Packers, Chargers, Titans, Vikings, they are currently over the cap. I mean, I don't even get this, but Saints seem like they're in this every year. They kick the can down the road, somehow get where they need to be when the season starts. But we were here, kind of where the Commanders, Eagles, Steelers, we went into the offseason needing to make moves just to have cap space in the past. Now we've got a buffer now before we even do anything. So let's look. So I wanted to look at the big name free agents. It's not Brad Holmes' thing to do to go get the big free agents, but I wanted to look at our top 25 free agents just to give you an idea who's out there. If we were going to go do something, would we entertain it? So, number one, Lamar Jackson. He's only 26 years old. Now, Roquan Smith, 26 years old, linebacker. I don't know, but looks like, oh yeah, that's right. Looks like he got a contract from the Ravens. Okay, Geno Smith, no. Hargrave, there's a D tackle position of need, but he's 30. So problem, right? In free agency, you're going to be old or expensive or both, and a 30-year-old doesn't maybe fit what we want to do. So again, and let me know in the comments on these. Right, I could definitely be missing something, but these are almost all going to be no's. But I just want to let you know who's out there. Orlando Brown, offensive tackle. We don't need that. Tom Brady, get out of here. We don't need you. Here's a good one. 25 years old. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, safety. We don't know the health of Tracy Walker. We're not sure exactly our secondary. We know we have Kirby Joseph, who was a nice story. Come on, but it'd be nice to have a playmaker back there, another playmaker, some depth. Safety is not like this position that's just locked up. James Bradbury, he's 30 years old. Going to need a big deal from him to get him over. 30 years old, again, not expecting to get him. Saquon Barkley, nope, too expensive. Here's one. Payne, D tackle, 26 years old. I mean, yeah, right. You take him all day. How much is he going to cost? Don't know. Jesse Bates, safety, 26. Yes, would take him all day. We just can't forget that safety is not this locked up. We got great safety. No, I mean Tracy Walker coming off an injury, and we got a rookie that made some plays, good stories, got high potential, but I mean, long way to go still. So safety, Jesse Bates would be a maybe. Odell Beckham, no. Mike McClinchy, tackle. Sorry, no, don't need you. Daniel Jones, get out of here. Don't need you. DeMonta Jones, 26 years old, D tackle. So look for him, right? Again, I don't think we're going to go big time free agents just for the fact that we're not going to spend the money, and that's just not Brad Holmes' thing. But yeah, I'd take him. Smith Schuster, no, too expensive. Jameel Dean, we've talked about him as a guy that we could go after. Corner, 26 years old. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We need a corner. We absolutely need a corner. So the best corner, one of the best corners at 26 years old, this is a guy that you might throw big money at to solidify the cornerback position, because right now we don't have corners. We just don't. We have Jerry Jacobs, really good. Again, another nice story and a good player, but not a solidified, great corner. We don't really have that right now. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver, no. Zach Allen, D lineman, 26 years old, maybe. Tony Pollard, probably not, right? Josh Jacobs, probably not. But there's a couple running backs right here that could solidify our running back room if we got Jamal Williams back and then say goodbye to Swift. I would love these two. I would take these two over Swift all day, every day. They're physical, they're strong. Swift tiptoes too much for me. And then every time I'm like get on my high horse about getting him out of here, he does something really good and has that game like against Chicago. And you're like, well, okay. So I can't figure him out, but I would say no. Marcus Davenport, edge. All right. Yep. 26. Love it. And I'll just do a couple more here. Top 25. David Long, linebacker. Jordan Poyer. I mean, he's getting a little older, so maybe we could get him a little cheaper. So there's a veteran safety. Wouldn't hate that. And David Long, I wouldn't hate it either at age 26. Jimmy Garoppolo, just two more. You got Cameron Sutton, Levante David at linebacker, a little too old, and then a tight end, and then Dalvin Tomlinson, he's a little too old too. So my point is we have ourselves in a position if we want to go after somebody in the top, there's some good names. There's definitely some good names. There's some decent ages, and it'll come down to how much it will require to get these. Now, we're not going to be one of those teams that we were in the past that are desperate to bring in players and you overpay and no. If it makes sense, they want to come here. And that's the thing too that I'm interested to see is we have now a culture and a coach that people want to play for, like actually would prefer to play for, have seen, have heard culture, like it. So if you're a guy like the guy coming from the Raiders, where it's just kind of, you just been in a tough spot and you just want to get into a good organization and culture, that's actually the Lions. It's weird to say it, but it's actually the Lions. So we could get guys that are willing to take a little bit less to come here. And again, you're not going to get guys. There's no such thing as like a discount. No one's just going to, I'll take it 3 million less or whatever, right? Like we're not going to get that. But if you can just get a guy that's interested in your team and willing to take a little bit less, but hey, it comes down to us and the Texans, and the Texans are offering just a little bit more. You're like, I'm going to go to Detroit, right? They're established. They're on the up. So free agent wise, I'm really excited because we haven't had the resources before. I know Brad Holmes is not going to go after the expensive guys, but he really couldn't anyway. So maybe he will, right? Maybe he will say, I want a corner done. Let's book it. I want a safety. I want, whatever that position is to really get us some veteran dude in there because we have no veteran. Very little, right? Anzalone, Brockers doesn't play on the defensive side. So maybe you get a stud linebacker or something. So let me know your thoughts in the comments when it comes to free agency. We actually have some money this year. We'll see what we do.